The student pilots of NJEP Class 2603 have been working and training hard. Just a few short weeks ago, they embarked on their first solo flights, all while adjusting to military-style briefings and testing their knowledge on the ground with walkthroughs of emergency procedures. While the student pilots have been logging hours flying sorties around the base in Wichita County, it's now time to step outside their comfort zone to plan, coordinate, and fly a cross-country flight. While flying almost 1,400 miles round trip isn't like a regular sortie, flight instructors say it isn't that much different.
So I actually think that's one of the beneficial parts of the cross country is it's a confidence builder that it's really not different, honestly. It's to show you like everything we do at Sheppard is so procedural and kind of standardized where it's nice to get to leave Sheppard Air Force Base, go explore the country and see some nice flying stuff, but also realize like a radio call down in Dallas-Fort Worth is the same as it is up here at Sheppard Air Force Base.
The first order of business is like planning a trip for the rest of us. You have to figure out where you're going.
Well, it's a lot of type 1A personalities, a lot of herding cats, but we all met up at the MSU library for a weekend, the weekend before our cross country, and we really sat down and kind of talked about where everybody actually wants to go.
This group agreed that the mile-high air of Colorado was the destination, just over 650 miles from Sheppard. Unlike a normal training day of flying, the prep work and planning is all on the students, something that none of them has done yet in their careers.
Yeah, just preparing the stops we're making, the fuel required, all that sort of stuff, the logistics. We weren't really used to that.
And even with all of the planning put into this trip, the name of the game is to be ready for the unexpected.
But then the day of, all of a sudden, there's a thunderstorm in between you and Santa Fe, which is what happened to us. So now all of a sudden, I wind up flying a lot more south than I planned to. The approach I wanted to fly into the airport, the winds aren't favoring it. So it's a lot more like, hey, let's get you in the aircraft, and now you just have to kind of be Johnny on the spot and come up with a solution while you're actually in the jet.
While thunderstorms and other obstacles can pop up anytime, cross-country flights give the student pilots the opportunity to relax and put it on autopilot, right? Wrong.
So you're kind of transitioning back and forth between, okay, what are some things that I can get done now, and how can that help me in the future? But then you're also flying the entire thing by hand, right? There's no autopilot for us. Okay, if I have 40 minutes of free time, I know that the last 5 minutes of this 40 minutes are going to be like really stressful, and I'm really gonna have to like work my brain. So what can I do now that's going to help me when I get there in 40 minutes?
When the student pilots get close to arrival, they'll have to be ready to communicate with people they've never met.
It's like going out into the real world and talking to other frequencies, other controllers, which is kind of scary somehow, because now you actually need to listen and take it in, the things that they're telling you, and you can't just do it automatically.
But once the T6 has made it to their destination, the student pilots have the chance to relax and bond.
The social part of it, going out there with the other guys, the other Americans, was a great experience. We definitely know each other much better now than before.
And so I think really the cross country is about the training, but it's also about like getting closer to the people that you're spending 12 hours a day with. I mean, you're with some of these people longer than you are at home. So I think that was pretty awesome.
And it wasn't just the student pilots making memories.
Well, this one was actually pretty special or new because it was actually my first cross country as an instructor pilot. I went through pilot training a year ago, and was doing the same thing. And so I know a lot of the mistakes that are made, right? Because I made those same mistakes. Like the scenery was beautiful, the mountains were nice, even flying through there and then arriving as the sun was setting. There was a lot of things that were just super cool about it.
Once the student pilots experienced the challenge of planning, executing, and even adjusting their trip, the plan to come back home is even easier.
I think on the way home it took like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to really come up with a plan, to know the approaches you're going to do, at what airports you're going to do, if they can house you or not. Like a couple phone calls and 30 minutes of planning. But when I first looked at my first leg of the trip, before I had any guidance or advice, like I spent like hours, probably like 3 or 4 hours.
In our next episode, I don't let the student pilots have all the fun. See what it looks like when a civilian goes up for the ride of his life. That's next time on Wings of Alliance.